Hello, I'm Zoe from Phoenix Life and Wellbeing Coaching, and today I want to ask you what you're investing in your health. We talk a lot about investing in our savings for the future, our retirement, being able to secure that investment for later on in life. Are you thinking in the same way about your health? Are you doing something now which is going to help you later on in life and be able to support you in your older years? Health is wealth, and investing in our health is really important. Our physical health and our mental health as well. And we really do need to be paying it a very similar, if not the same amount of attention as we do with our financial health. Will you be able to enjoy the results of your financial investment in the future if you haven't invested in your physical and mental health now? What will be the return on the investment that you are currently making? And if you were to invest a little bit more, how much would that give you in return? Looking after your mental and physical and emotional health, it does take time and effort. It doesn't just happen. You have to be conscious about your behavior, and you have to prioritize time and effort and energy to look after yourself. And in the same way that we consciously make decisions to spend or save money that impacts our future wealth, we need to make the same decisions on a daily basis now that impact our future health. It can be really easy to slip into habits and behaviours that don't contribute to our health in a positive way. And I'm sure as you're watching this, you could probably name 2 or 3 things that you do that don't contribute to your physical or mental health in a positive way. And whilst there are many things that aren't within our control, we can be focused on doing what we can to keep ourselves in good physical and mental health. And they are interdependent. So whilst there will be illnesses that we can't influence or prevent, we should certainly take responsibility for those that we can. Steps for change don't have to be life-changing, but the impact of making those changes can be. And these are things that we can start right now. So here are 3 steps of changes that you can make straight away. So the first step is to identify the behaviours that do not have a positive influence on your physical or mental well-being. So take a little bit of time, just sit with a pen, piece of paper, or an electronic notepad if you prefer, and just spend a little bit of time to think about what you do on a regular basis that you know is not helping and is not having a positive influence on your physical or mental well-being and your future health. So once you've written those down, and that's probably going to feel a little bit uncomfortable because we have to have a really honest conversation to be able to do that. But once you've written down, you can move on to step 2. And that's to identify what behaviours you would like to replace them with. It's much easier to focus on replacement rather than removal. And if we can slowly bring in new behaviours and new habits that we know are going to have a positive impact on our future health and probably our present health and well-being as well, if we can focus on the behaviours and habits that we want to introduce, it will slowly take away that old habit and it will slowly replace them. It's much easier, it's a much more positive mindset. It's much easier to introduce the new things. We can get very excited about new things, but if we remove something, it leaves a gap. And when it leaves a gap, we have a tendency, when we're not focused, when we're not paying attention, to slip into the old habits and behaviours. So step 2 is to identify what behaviours you want to replace these old behaviours with. Step 3 is to identify the first small changes that you can take that will have that process of moving you from the old behaviours to the new behaviours. So identify the first small change, that first small step that you can take that's going to start to move you forward. Keep it small, keep it simple. Think those 1% incremental, 1% marginal gains that are going to help you to move forward from where you are now to where you want to be. Most people still, even though they will refer to it as a small step, most people will still start with something that is too big. And so keep chunking it down into something that feels not just small and manageable, but almost something that you can get excited about, and something that you can get excited about starting rather than dreading something that you are beginning. It needs to feel small. It needs to feel sustainable, and if it's small and sustainable, it is much easier to be consistent with it. And when we're consistent with it, that's when we can create those long-term habits and behaviours that don't need us to give that focus and energy and effort and attention all of the time. It just becomes something that we do, like cleaning our teeth in the morning. There are some tips to think about. Investing in your health and well-being is time that you will get back, and it's really important to pay attention to what you're doing in the here and now that is going to impact your future. If you have any questions, or if you would like to talk about this in any more detail, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I would be more than happy to help. But remember, it takes time, it takes investment, but the return that you get for that investment is one that you will be very grateful for, both in the present and in the future.